Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Racing Insiders podcast. This is episode 169, and it is October 23rd, 2023. And this week we have a special guest. This is a manufacturer that I've worked with for the last few years, and also he's an exhibitor at the Cars Racing Show, which you're going to continue to hear more about on this podcast. And I would like to introduce you today to Luke Hubbell. So, Luke from Hubbco, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
My name is Luke, of course. I'm 20. No, how old am I? My birthday's in a couple of days. 31. I'm 31. I'll be 32. I'm from Michigan. Farm family. Just kind of got started racing with my dad, and I raced UMP modifieds and started Hubbco in 2018, and been going strong ever since. Just me and the dog, and putting in lots of hours, but really not work when you enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, and I believe that you have a degree of some kind. Am I right?
Yep.
Engineering? Yep.
Manufacturing engineering at Ferris State University.
And how much did that help as you built your business?
Not at all, really. It's weird. Like I didn't really, that was just like a passion of mine, right? Like, so, like if I were just to dream about what I really wanted in life, I'd be like, man, I just want to have my own business and go outside to the race cars every day, drinking coffee and just making cool stuff. But with the schooling, I was, used to be an engineer at Amazon, and designed a lot of their spiral chutes. And before that, I worked at a OEM tier 3 supplier company. So I was a machine builder there and built some like robotic cells and stuff. So that aspect of schooling helped me with that. It helped me get in there and learn some cool stuff. I think just being in the field really helped me the most, because it's more curiosity than anything, because you just see really cool stuff, and where money is really not the problem. And you kind of try to, or at least I do, is translate that technology to the racing world. And that's maybe where I get a lot of the success or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
So that's the translation between that. But like with engineering stuff, man, that sucks. Like I was not cut out for that. It's a lot of paper pushing, and I just needed to be creative. And COVID happened and all that, and I was working from home, and I actually got in trouble for using the design software at home, designing my own stuff. So but yeah, no, it's weird, man. It's just weird how everything lines up. That day I got let go. It didn't really bum me out really much, because I was running Hubbco on the side, and I had a flat tire in my truck, and like it's just weird how I don't know, life tries to bring you down. But you just gotta keep a positive attitude, PMA.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, just keep chugging through, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
So when you started Hubbco, it was really your side gig, and you were still working a full-time job until that time.
2019, I quit where I was working there as an engineer, and and I was doing Hubbco for about a year, and I was like, man, this is I don't even think I would have did Hubbco full time unless I got pushed out in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. It's just like, okay, that's and I always felt like God would tell me when you'll know when you know what I mean? So that's when I know. So and then it's just like the worst thing that can happen is you can go back for working for the man again. And I don't want to live life later down the road saying, I wish I would have, man. Like, just do it now. I mean, I don't have any kids. I'm married, and I have the dog, and real supportive family. So makes it, pretty easy. And I know everybody can't really do that, but definitely encourage it if you can.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's part of being an entrepreneur, is sometimes you just have to take the leap. And And just, one thing I like to say is, a true entrepreneur, you jump off the cliff and then you figure out how to build the plane.
Oh yeah. I mean, done is better than perfect, like you say.
Oh, that is so around my absolutely.
And
And
I
it's
remember
like,
when you told me that, it's like ding, 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 ding. It's like, yeah, dude, like you can sit here and spin your wheels, and I got to get this. I got to get the right funding. Dude, I had $20 in my bank account when I started Hubbco. Like legit, I was, just putting money towards racing and all this and all that. Like when it's time to go, it's time to go, and everything will just kind of fall into place. That sounds so crazy and irresponsible, but I'm telling you, that's exactly the way it was.
well, I think when you're willing to work,
Yeah.
I started Crate Insider with my credit card and I charged the web guys fee on my credit card. That's
Yeah.
I started with less than 0. So, what? It makes a much better story than,
Sure.
I wrote a business plan and I got a loan for, $500,000 and I started a business and now it's worth $550,000 10 years later. Is not like there's no good in that
Yeah.
story.
I almost seems scarier, it's just like,
What's
that's it.
motivation?
Yeah. It's stressful to try to have all the right answers when you don't need to have all the answers. Just take one step.
Mhm.
How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? It's just day by day, baby.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, one thing at a time. And anybody who's watching us live, of course, we're live on both Facebook and YouTube. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And also just let us know where you're listening from or watching from. I see Scott is here, and he's always the first one here, and he says, "Happy Monday from California, the land of sunshine and earthquakes."
Man, that sounds nice. Well,
Yeah.
first part, but
Yeah, yeah. Other than the fires and the earthquakes and the droughts and the floods hmm, and so many people everywhere. Have you ever been out there?
no, but no, I mean, I think I've been out there just like for travel, like Las Vegas, and maybe dip my toe in there for like when we were driving or something. But no, Hawaii, man, Hawaii is a spot. I was there. I was in Oahu during the fires. That was pretty crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been there. My big thing is like I love to go there after the car show because
Oh,
like I'm just burnt out and stressed out, just from holidays and all that, Black Friday stuff, and just take a break, and that's just perfect.
yeah.
And
That's
it's
a
cheap.
great idea.
I swear it's so cheap. Like not so cheap, but I mean, out of Grand Rapids, you can fly out of Grand Rapids to Honolulu for like $500.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that's not bad at all.
I'm flying to Iowa in a couple weeks, and it's more than that, I think.
What's in Iowa?
My dad's being inducted into the Iowa Dirt Racing Hall of Fame and Museum.
What?
Yeah.
Hype.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really cool. So anybody who's listening, Dick Schiltz is my dad. I know it with our names and stuff, it doesn't always get put together, but,
Sure.
but yeah, it's super cool. So,
Yeah, that's cool. You
yeah.
can do a podcast there?
Oh, probably not.
No, yeah.
No, no. I won't have any equipment or anything. I
Sure.
mean, I know I could always go from a phone or something, but I'll
Yeah.
try to take some pictures.
Better quality than that.
Yeah, yeah, I'll try.
Yeah. No,
Well,
cool.
a lot of times when I travel, I just wanna really enjoy I wanna be present,
Yeah.
when I'm doing it, and so maybe that's my age, which I am not gonna talk about on the show. It's nice that you mentioned yours, but, I am ageless. I don't admit my age at all anymore.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't really live on social media. I kinda took a break from social media for a while, like a little digital detox basically, and that's
Yeah.
when I assigned, like, Tori, the podcast producer, she also does, almost all of our Facebook and all of our social stuff, video
Shout out
editing.
Tori.
Yes, yes, big shout out to Tori for all the hard
Yeah,
work she does, for
that's
sure.
nice.
Yes. Oh, and Dave has a comment here. Do you know Dave, of course.
My man
And
Dave.
yes, and he says, "Kate, you'll love it so much, you may just have to stay up here." And, Dave, I grew up in Waterloo, Iowa. I'm really familiar with Iowa, and, I have to say, I mean, I like living in North Carolina. I
Yeah,
like it.
speaking of Iowa, I went down there and seen Dave, and I spent a day with him. Dude, that was a big turning point for me too. Like I mean, kind of like a mentor figure, like he was just kind enough to spend a day, kind of showed me around, and I just asked him a bunch of questions, and worked on a project together, and just I'm just a nobody, but he still would do that for me. And even still to this day, like I can ask him any question about business or anything, he'll shoot you straight. And I really think, the whole racing community feels the same way. It's just one of those, I don't know, just staples that it's just good old guy,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how
Yeah.
old he is, but I would say grandpa, good, like the grandpa racing. But yeah, that's my own words, I guess.
Oh, yeah, Dave and I, get great relationship, and that's actually how I met you, was through Dave.
Yeah, same.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's pretty wild,
Yeah,
and,
he's the man.
how I guess you're now in, like, your 5th year of business.
Yep.
How does it feel? Like, how do you feel about your progression as a racing business owner?
Uh, Good. It's so critical not to compare yourself to others, um, in that regard. Like, of course you do. Man, I want to be like this and that, inspiration wise. But yeah, like I have short term goals and just what I want to do, and I look for consistency, and and I'm happy with that each year. Well, for 3 years in a row now, um, over 200 lifts made and sold. So um, that's kind of cool to put your hat on, and just releasing new products. I think that's important, and just staying um, motivated, and it's because when you're by yourself all day, you can get pretty burnt out or just tripped up on some stuff or whatever. But it's just, I don't want to say like you get kind of veteranized to that kind of stuff in a way, but you do, and you learn that um, whether it's good or bad, you got new stuff coming on the way, or new sales on the way, and different kinds of techniques to bring that stuff in, and you get a better arsenal of, or not, yeah, a better arsenal of kind of how you feel about yourself and the business, and how you can take on new challenges. And I think that's how I've been growing, just
Mhm.
being able to take on new stuff, grow in that aspect. I've got a new plasma table coming on the way soon. Um, Actually, probably be the top of December, but I'm excited about that. So I'll have the CNC mill and I'll have the plasma, so I won't have to outsource that because everything's in house, and I take great pride in that. Um, yeah, the 5 year journey, the 80% of businesses fail or something like that in 5 years. So um, yeah, if I can do it, anybody can do it, And another thing is, like, you probably look downtown, or at least I did, and you'll see like a uh, shout out to all the comics out there, but there's just like a comic book store like right downtown, like really nice real estate. I'm just thinking to myself, man, if they can make it, like, why can't we? Why can't we do that? It's just, and then you get in it, and it's like, yeah, man, it's not that hard. You got it.
Oh, yeah, those are the famous that last words in my office is like, "Well, it can't be that hard."
Yeah, right. Yeah, is it really that hard? Like,
Yeah, it can't be that hard. That's
yeah,
it's literally what that is the words of doom on that. And I can understand like where you're at. I'm not that much farther ahead. I mean, 10 years versus 5 years, but
that's huge. Yeah,
um or it will be like the 10-year anniversary, so we're in our 10th year. But one thing I had to change my mindset on that too, about seeing other racing businesses. Like I see for me, since I'm a retailer, I see Speedway and Summit,
yeah,
Jags, like
yeah,
they're like the Walmarts of
yeah.
racing. And here I am like this. Back then I was in my little 2-bedroom apartment, and shipping from another shop, and rather than thinking, "Oh, man, I'll never get there." Instead, the way that I think about it is, you know what? They show that it's possible, except for they got a 60-year head start on me.
Yeah,
So, okay, I'm doing pretty darn good.
yeah,
I'm just gonna keep putting one foot in front of the other, and kinda go from there. But,
yeah.
it's like they say, it, like, takes 10 years to become an overnight success, you know?
Yeah, yeah. If I think back 10 years from now, it's
Mhm.
just kind of really getting into my own racing. And yeah, you're right. It's just like it kind of plants the seeds. And that's another thing, is like planting seeds of good things, and being good to your customers and being good to your suppliers, and just getting the right foot forward kind of thing. It's just the little things, like, yeah, it's little things.
Yeah. And the hardest thing is managing growth. It's not, it's easy to start. It's managing growth is the hard part.
Yeah,
What happens when the phone rings off the hook? Or right now, there are like 349 emails in my inbox that have come over, over the weekend. And I was on the phone all day and I just couldn't even get to the emails. So
sure.
it's,
That's wild.
I want to be able to, serve and do and be the best at customer service, but I just can't do it by myself anymore. So
Yeah,
that's where I've got help, and that's great, but I haven't even gotten to my email. It's
yeah. That's another thing too. It's just I like I everything I do it myself, and it's like it's a quality thing too. So I know everything that leaves here is good, and I can hang my hat on that. But like you're saying, um, you got to at some point you got to delegate, and if you want to keep sane and really growth. And because we both know there's about 10 things that we could probably do, but if we just had another one of us, um, it would make it a lot easier. And training and all that stuff is so critical. And um, and then you look
yeah.
at like what Speedway and what they probably have to do, and like what they're, and I just look at like waste. I hate waste, and it's just
Same
like,
here.
yeah,
Mhm.
and like I can't imagine the hours that might be wasted, and then it just drives you nuts. And it's like I'll just do it myself, and then it's just a circle. Like, ah,
Y
but you're right. You gotta definitely hire people to grow.
Yeah, so we try to do our best to try to create systems is
Mm,
and, systems especially for things that are going to be repeated, but
yep.
not necessarily on the daily. But there again, I mean, even like how to do shipping, I think we've got, an SOP,
Good.
standard operating procedure for anybody to do that stuff,
Right.
and keep like a whole using project management software
Yep.
and just that way it's got a place to live on the cloud so that I don't go through yet another hard drive that crashes and takes all the information with it because I've done
Yeah.
that before. Yeah.
Yeah. That's back to that SOP stuff. And like my big thing is every day I start the day the same. I'll work out, I read the Bible, and I get my chores done. My chores are at least one lift a day, and then I'll get one for shipping, and that's every day. Like it's I don't do anything else until I get that done, and so it's just chores. Then you get that
Mhm.
stuff done, then you can go play and do other stuff. And like, and I made some standard operating procedures for like the lifts and stuff. So if I ever, because my big goal is like I want to sell Hubbco and go on to something different, and so like I'll have that in place, just
Yeah.
making little documents on the ways to make it a little bit easier. And that kind of stuff could be easily divvied out and intern or whatever.
Oh, I mean, it makes it so much easier and to have somebody fresh kinda go through it, and then you can see where the holes are,
Yeah.
and for us, a lot of times there's tasks that we don't do every day, but I
Mhm.
don't wanna have to relearn how to do it 6 months from now. I mean, we end up building several websites, and so now I've got, like, here's the whole documentation of, like, step by step of which
Sweet.
which thing we're gonna do next 'cause, we do that in my office as well. It's kind of a separate
That's great.
company, but we do that. Yeah, for anybody who needs a
Even, yeah,
website.
even just like a quick screen capture or whatever, like click this and that. And
Yeah.
then like the wording kind of gets weird. Like you gotta, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. It's just
Yes.
watch them run through it, and it's like, why did you do it like that? Well, that's what it says. Well, yeah.
Mhm. Yep, and, we got a couple comments here. So Shane says, "Right on both of you for what you've done." Thank you so much.
Oh,
Appreciate
thanks.
that. And Dave is back and he says, "Employees are the worst part of growing business." Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a challenge.
he
Yeah.
knows. He's got a
Yeah.
bunch.
He used to. Yeah. Now he's
Yeah.
he's he's down to just a few, and, I know it was a challenge for me, when I tried to hire an assistant, and I wanted an assistant who would just kind of, be like a Swiss Army knife of just
Yeah.
kinda whatever I need,
I
you
would love
know?
that.
Yeah. There's not that there would be a particular task, but I want you to be able to do this and this and this, and I'll train you, but I guess I'm a little intense, and so there were a few
Dude, that's
people.
exactly it. I'm like, I expect people to have that same drive as what I do, and that's not fair. Like, I can't do that to people, and I totally realize that, but like, um, man, if I'm paying for something, like, you gotta show up and work as hard as I do, that's just, I know it's not fair, but dude, that's so hard not to get. It's hard to get out of that thinking.
Well, I'm Gen X, and so we're about as hardcore as it gets. So all the Gen X videos that you see like on TikTok, those are true. Like just
Yeah.
all of them that I've seen. But I have to say I loosened up a lot during COVID because
Did you?
yeah, oh, absolutely. Because Tori and I were still working together. It was just the two of us, and I had like my 4 or 5 people that I interacted with. When we were all scared, and nobody talked to anybody or saw anybody in person and
Right.
stuff. And it was during that. I was like, okay, yeah, if you're sick or your kids are sick, like we're gonna figure out a solution here, because and if I'm sick, I'll let you know, and we don't want to. I'm just saying it first. I know we kind of look at it a little bit differently these days, but back then when nobody knew and there's all the fear that was out there, I loosened up and a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, I mean, man, fear will kill you. I tell you, I really live my life. I strive not to fear anything. I mean, I'm not like pompously or anything like that, but um, yeah, whatever you fear will come upon you, man. It's so true.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you live in that fear, I mean, I think there's healthy fear,
Sure.
I think,
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
there's a healthy amount of fear, but unrealistic fear or like
Yeah.
fear of the unknown
Fear
is,
mongering, just fear porn, all that stuff. Just,
oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. 'Cause
your brain's like like a radio. If you don't like what you're hearing, or just turn the channel. I know
mhm.
it's easier said than done, and there's brain chemicals and all there, like all that stuff. But its mindset is huge, 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 huge.
So, when you're not working, what do you try to do to take a break? What hobbies do you have any other hobbies other than racing? I don't want to call racing a
Yeah.
hobby, but
Well, I build those cooler cruisers, and I tell you, I get such a kick driving those things downtown.
cooler
Um,
cruisers. Tell
yeah.
me about them.
So it's based on like the Milwaukee stuff, the pack out, right? But it's a pretty much, it looks like a quad, um, but you can ride on it, and so you ride on a cooler, right?
Okay.
And it's got a short wheelbase. It's pretty small. It's got the radio in the back. You can customize it however you want, and it's just a It goes about 40 mile an hour. Um,
Really?
yeah, it's got full suspension, front and rear, and it's so fun. And just getting the people's reactions downtown, and um, I get a real big joy out of that. And I really like traveling. Just looking at cool stuff, nature, dude. I could stare at trees and birds for so long. Just I don't know. That sounds so weird, but it just inspires me. I just if not that, then it's not really work, but I just like being in the garage and tinkering, in the shop.
Mhm,
I've been getting into Adobe Premiere and making videos. I'm
mhm.
trying to get a backlog of shop videos, and kind of go on that stem for a little bit. And I really
That's
want to get a
that's what we
classic truck.
use. Yeah, we
What?
use we use Adobe
Adobe
Premiere
Premiere?
Pro. Mhm.
Yeah, I tried Final Cut, and I didn't really like Final Cut, and Adobe really seems to run better on my Mac, and it's just cool, kind of that creative element of things. The whole Adobe suite is really cool, and then using AI with that, man, you can get a whole rabbit hole, and just, I don't know. And then I really like to play piano. I'm pretty good at piano. Um,
Wow.
I've played drums my whole life, and guitar, and I play um, worship band and stuff like that. And but dude, 20 minutes of piano a day, just kind of going through your keys, and it's it's fun, because then you can, like, if you hear something on the radio, like, oh, let me try to play that, and you can do it, and you just run like gospel fills and stuff like that. If I see a piano like out in the world or something, I'll get on it and just rip a little jam. It's so fun. Like, I don't know,
That is
music
so
does a lot.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, And I can see that with an engineering mind. Engineering and music a lot of times go
Yeah, what is
together.
that? And engineering, racing, and music. It's like a trifecta. Like Carl Edwards, like he's big into
Hmm.
music too. I guess he's got like a recording studio.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Huh. I saw him speak at PRI several years ago. And
Really?
yeah, that was really cool. I think it's because math is boring until you get to a certain point and you realize that math can be creative. So it's
Yeah.
like you need all of those building blocks to be able to understand
Yeah.
like the basics. And most people don't go beyond that. I mean, it's like my mind was opened to math. Now I don't do any of the higher math like
No.
that, but I
Yeah.
can see where, okay, that just got creative. Then you get
Yeah.
into
You
like
appreciate
game
it.
theory. Yeah. And I think music is very much that same way.
Yeah.
There's that trudge of having to practice your piano 20 minutes a day. And then at some point, I don't play piano. I don't play any
I feel like
instruments like
you
that.
could. You love it.
Yeah. I tried. I bought a keyboard one
Did
time
you?
and I didn't, yeah. It seemed like something I would like.
Yeah.
I don't have, mm, I wasn't instantly good at it. And there's a lot of other things that I'm instantly good at. So,
Yeah.
so it wasn't as fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the
Mm.
thing is like curiosity, I think really keeps you into things too.
Yeah.
Keeps you going, you know.
Well, I think what's cool now is like so much is available on YouTube. I think
Mhm.
whatever you're interested in, you could find somebody who could be at your level and that could, take you down the path.
Right.
Yeah. So like my thing is my hobby besides my Lego collection, which you can kind of see,
Lego?
got into Legos this year. I don't
Oh
know why.
yeah, like
Just
that.
did. There's just a couple of lame ones, but I
No,
got
I
good
gotta
ones
get
here.
you.
Like Legos and quilting. I used to quilt.
Really?
I never learned from my mom or anything. I got a sewing
Yeah.
machine. I got her sewing machine, but I had a friend show me how to thread it. So like I learned how to like from reading books and then I hadn't done it in like 12 years. And it was just this year I was just watching YouTube because I watch a lot of YouTube and I don't know, I came across like this quilting thing and I was like, "Ooh, that looks really fun. I think I'll do that." And so that's what I do for fun and
That's cool.
bought a new sewing machine and
Dang.
design and all of don't Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
I
good
love
time.
me a good quilt.
Good.
Especially like the hand-me-downs like that your mom will give you or whatever, you know, it's like, I don't know, they just always seem to it's like the perfect weight and versus like heat. I don't know, it just feels
Yeah.
good, soft and yeah,
I
I like
I
it.
think I like the designing of them, and
Oh
then you
yeah.
pick out all the things and yeah, it's I don't know.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's interest I like to keep it interesting. So there's still a bunch of those I wanna do.
You're gonna have your own wardrobe here pretty soon.
Oh, I don't do clothes. I only do
That's
flat
awesome.
things. So I can, I don't do clothes. No. No,
Okay,
I mean, I'm sure I can like, fix a seam or something, but
sure.
no, I don't do clothes.
That'd be funny.
No desire to make my
You
own clothes.
come to the car show and you're like Devil's Wear Prada and just
No.
that'd be funny.
No, 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 but
Oh,
yeah, but I do like making quilts. It's fun.
do
Let's see.
you
Oh, go
go ahead.
ahead. Oh, Shane has a comment here. He says, "Get you a shop dog. They make a great coworker." But I think
Yeah,
you have a
Milo.
dog.
Yeah, he's my man. He was a rescue from Louisiana, and
Oh,
he got dispersed during the hurricanes down there. And I've had him. He'll be 5 in November, and I've had him since he's 1. But yeah, he goes every day. Goes shop. He goes to like Menards and Home Depot with me, and they all know him and give him treats, and so it's cool. He
that's super fun.
yeah, he's my best friend for sure.
Yeah. And how
Yeah.
did you end up getting a rescue dog from Louisiana?
Well, so it was like a foster dog. It was supposed to be a foster dog, and we're gonna keep him right away. But there's Paws of Hope. It's a company up here that
Mm,
works with shelters down there apparently because
mhm.
that shelter down there had all outdoor space for the dogs, so they didn't really get water very much, and it's really hot down there. So they really work with that place down there. So especially with the
Gotcha.
hurricanes, but they shipped him up here and we rescued him, picked him out online, and yeah, it was cool. He's the best.
That's great. Well,
Yeah,
let's talk a little bit about your products.
yeah,
So for anybody who's not even familiar with what you do,
yeah,
I know I mean these are like I don't know. The way I think about the podcast is like when I'm talking to my guests, that we're just having a conversation like we would normally have, which
Yeah,
is exactly what we're doing.
yeah,
And and that y'all are just listening in. So, feel free to be part of the conversation if you're
sure.
watching us live. But tell us a little bit, like, what was the first product that you really, kind of created and came out with?
Yeah, it was my lifts that I do. Let's see. We're on rendition number 5 right now. And I built my first one just out of necessity. I just seen how much I needed one, and they were expensive. And I was a machine builder at the time, and so all right, well, I'm just gonna try to build one. And dude, it was a nightmare. Like, it weighed 175 pounds, and I actually snuck into work during second shift to build it. Um, Going between buildings, it was crazy. It was seriously crazy. I would have gotten in big trouble if yeah, see, me and other workplaces that just don't get along, I guess, for some reason. Always mixes with racing. But anyway, so I built that, and it was tall. It was taller than the most, and other people around the tracks and stuff say, "Hey, did you build that?" So yeah, can you build me one? I said, "Yeah, sure." Um, but I didn't want to go through that again because that was a nightmare. Like, I didn't even weld it on a table. Like, it was just a hodgepodge, just try it out, whatever. Like I said, it was really heavy, and so I made another one, and it was a little better, and I just kept getting better at it. Just different designs and stuff like that, and that was really my first bread and butter product. And I think, yeah, but the one that got me in trouble with work was that steering wheel adapter during COVID and all that. Everybody went to iRacing, and so I made that quick release for steering wheels, because the iRacing, is like a stock setup for the computer. They're really small wheels, so I wanted to make it so
Oh,
you could put your regular racing wheel on there. So I made a 3D printed adapter for that, and that really went off well. And that's what I use that software for at work and got in trouble for. But yeah, so that was the second one. Then I had the body tools. That was really cool, and just really kind of splayed out from there.
yeah. So you've got the hammer and the edge roller, which I
Yep.
have on my shelf.
Yeah.
And tell us about those. I mean, it was when you were putting your own body on your car and you're like, "Ooh, I really need this tool," or "This could be better or less expensive," or, was there something out there that was similar to that
Yeah.
that you were inspired by?
Yeah, for sure. So I worked with Pool on that, and it was he had something from Germany. It was like a Hubbco or something like that. And I went over his house, and we were working on some other stuff for the race car. And he showed me, he's like, "Man, you should make this." And it's like, man, looking at it, took some pictures, and kind of got bored. And I started, crunching some stuff and designing some stuff on the CAD, and um, kind of looking around for more inspiration. And then like McMaster Car had something similar to it, and I looked at more pictures, and they had something that was a little bit wider. And so I just started playing with it and building it. Man, it just seems like every single thing I make, it's three things to get it right. So 3 renditions, and like the third one is pretty good, and then you can build off that. But so I did that, and that was fun. It was just it's just one of those things where you see it and it's like, okay, we got to do that. It's something like, it's inexpensive to where you don't need to buy like those plastics, for the wheel well and stuff like that. I mean, you spend $100 for the whole car on that, when you're probably gonna have to do it twice a year if you're gonna do
Mhm.
your body twice. And right there's an edge roller, and it makes it stronger and it makes it look cool. And um, it's just new technology. Young farts like us are coming up.
Yeah, I love it, and I love how some of your products seem so obvious after the fact. I mean, I
Yeah.
think those are so like,
Yeah.
why didn't this exist before? This is just crazy.
Yeah.
I think one of my actual favorite product from you that I now can't think of what the name of it is. It's the body straightener. It's the
Oh
with
yeah.
the wheels. What's it
Yeah.
called?
Yeah. The body straightener.
Yeah, but it's body something, but I
Yeah, body
love
strength.
that. It's so smart. And
Yeah, dude. Because I was when I was racing and stuff like that. Like I was pretty much a one man band, me and the wife, or just me and my dad. Usually, and just taking out body panels, and then you lose, the body bolts, and you're searching the grass, and you're just in a hurry, and just my wife didn't want to straighten out panels because you're beating stuff with a hammer and just loud and all that. So it's everything's out of necessity, and that goes back to like my work days working for the man, and you like seeing those machines there, like sheet metal straight or not sheet metal straightener, but just like big rollers and stuff like that, and then you say, well, I wonder if I could use that in racing or whatever. And I had so many different renditions of that body straightener too. You spend a lot of money on just knickknacks and just building stuff, and then you try it, and then you try it out, and then you run out of stuff to try it out on. And you got to ask other people, hey, can I try this on your car? And but
yeah,
yeah,
you
no,
crashed this weekend or got run into. Can I borrow your
yeah, I like
Can
going
I
to
mess with your car
the
for a minute?
track and just straighten out people's cars for them. That's
Mhm.
fun. But no, yeah, so it's all that kind of stuff is out of necessity, like you say, and I think that's if I think it's cool, then probably other people will think it's cool too, and that goes with anybody. It's like if you think something's cool, well, I'm sure probably other people will think it's cool too. You know,
Yeah. Now, has that been kind of the mantra of what's kind of worked out for you,
yeah,
or has there
100.
been okay, because I've definitely gone, like, on the other deep end of things, like, "I think this is awesome. I think everybody will love this," and then just, like, flops on its face.
Yeah,
So
like I always say, like the first thing I always say, like when I started something, like I started a product or anything, I'll say, like, it'd be cool if, or it'd be sweet, and then da 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 da, every single time. And
yeah, it
like
can't be that hard.
yeah, that too. Like I think we have 13 products now that are unique to us. And I'm pretty proud of that. Like the tire wash deal, that was pretty special. That went pretty viral this summer, and we're on our second rendition of that too, for late model tires.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's you can, and actually the big thing is like taking it to the tracks. If another entrepreneur or something wants to buy one, and you take it to the track, and then you charge people, $10 for 4 tires for 10 minutes or something like that. 2-day shows, there's nowhere to wash your tires really, and you can do it all right there. It'd be
I
kind of
haven't
cool.
seen that one.
Yeah,
So, can you describe it?
yeah. So you just put it's like a rotisserie for your tires. So you put all your tires in this rack, and
Mhm.
it's pretty much a car wash for your tires. So it rolls on there, and there's brushes on top, and there's a sprayer on the bottom, and just sprays the tires. So you wash your car, and your tires will be washed in the meantime, so they don't get dried out. You do them all at once, and then also it's a dual purpose too. So you can groove your tires on it, you can sipe your tires right on it, and so that way you're not taking it off the tire machine. It's a thoroughblig, right? So it's back to manufacturing purposes. Anything you have
Mhm.
to touch more than once, it's a waste. And
Right.
so taking that nut off the tire machine each time, putting your tire on there, where you can just put them all in there once, do it all you got to do, and it's done.
Sounds really
So
cool.
yeah, thanks.
And I see Bob is here saying hi.
What's up,
And,
Bob?
yeah, Bob is the inventor of the tire spinner.
What's up?
Yeah. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
kind of fun. We're
I
talking
seen
about
that.
tire wash, and Bob has the tire spinner. So, you
What's
know,
up, Bob?
Luke and Bob, now you're meeting each other here on
Are
the
you
podcast.
going to the car show? Yeah,
Um, yeah, I need to talk to Bob about that because I think it'd be great. I think he'd do
you
awesome
better.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on my list to talk to Bob about coming down to cars
Well,
because I
I can
think he'd
say
do awesome.
firsthand that it's wild. Like that was my first ever thing I've ever did. Like now Dave hooked me up on that, and I kind of asked him like what was he doing this year for trade shows, and he said with you, and that was the first one I ever went to, and it just blew my mind. Like I didn't even expect the sales from that. Like I didn't really know. Well, I've been to PRI before that, and um, it's smaller than PRI, but it hits harder than PRI, I think. Um, and I just feel like the vendors are less burnt out, maybe. Um, Yeah, it's all good. It's good
Well,
vibes.
our audience is just so specific, is what it is. So we don't have really drag racing stuff or hot rod stuff. We have some asphalt. We're always trying to grow the asphalt part of the show. I'm just
Yeah,
telling you, we are.
for
I'd
sure.
also like to grow the small car part of the show. I'd love to have some mini sprints and,
Yeah,
mini outlaws carts. I'd love to have some of that at the show. But at the end of the day, we're a circle track dirt show. I
yep,
mean, we really have a lot of the manufacturers. There's some crossover, between all of them and some of those other ones. And
sure.
that's who the audience is. They're racers. So
Yeah,
it's not really people that are just coming to, kick the tires on race cars. They
yep.
they wanna, more than likely, they're gonna put their foot on the nose and see how it springs up and look at the
Yeah,
back
be
and
curious.
see the suspension and
Want to see it in
it
person,
yes.
feel it, touch it,
Yeah, and Bob says,
smell it.
"Hey, I need to check your stuff out, Luke." Yeah, yeah, Lucas got some great stuff. You got a new product here recently. I know we still need to shoot a video on it, but,
Yeah,
the strong arm. So tell us a little
yeah,
bit about the strong arm.
yeah. So that's again out of necessity. Like I got sick and tired of getting ratchet straps, changing bar angles and all that kind of stuff. Like I just needed an extra hand. Like you're always like reaching to try to pull stuff and like just a nightmare. And I like the linear actuator has so many different purposes that it's lightweight and it's strong, really strong, like 1,300 pounds pull and push, and you know that'll get you out of trouble a lot. And just separating ball joints, all that kind of stuff, and it's made to do so you can do it with one person, and you're in a hurry and you're in your race suit and you're trying to reach stuff. And just yeah, it can be a lot easier, and why not make it easier, and especially do it for a nice price. And I love to make things that you can use for multiple things. So like with that strong arm, there's so many different things that you could use it for. Like you could even tie your car down with it, like in the trailer, like if you wanted to. It's anything you use a rat strap for, you can use it with that, or like a pry bar. I've seen guys use it to push out like dents or bars, like driver door bars, all that kind of cool stuff. So it's kind of like it's electric porta power is the best way to put it.
Yeah, and ratchet straps can be confusing. I mean,
Annoying. Yeah. I love to
yeah.
watch people struggle with rat straps. It's funny. They hit it.
Actually, I have it's funny you talk about tying your car down, and so I have a story. So when I moved, this is many years ago, but I moved from North Carolina to Idaho, and I
Mhm.
was driving. I had all my stuff packed in a U-Haul, and I was towing my car out there. Well, I don't know anything about how to tie down a car. I mean,
Sure.
despite growing up and racing, I mean, I just never did. So the people at the U-Haul place did it. And I think it was just maybe a couple of teenagers or something, but I get to Kansas, so I'm just halfway across the country, and my car is sitting where it is so off center. I mean, because like Kansas is nothing but wind and and whipping the trailer around. And I mean, it moved my car. Like I end up going to the U-Haul place and I'm like, what can I do here? Because it's so to the left side, like you can't get in
Help.
the door, nothing. And when I took to the U-Haul place, they were like, for a while they thought they might have had to get like a crane or a tow truck or something to like
Yeah.
lift up my car and then move it over. But I guess it was light enough because it was just like a little Nissan, and I think a couple of guys just kind of scooted it over.
Just
But
push it over.
yeah, but I
That's
think
fun.
the big reason is that it just wasn't tight enough on the
Yeah.
ratchet straps. Because I think ratchet straps are one of those things where like tying down a car is, I don't care what you're tying down. Whenever you think it's tight, go like another 2, 3, 5 turns or
Oh,
whatever.
dude. I've
Yeah.
lost a race car on a trailer, like even yeah, oh yeah. Like
Really?
yeah, it was pretty bad. We had to go get the tractor from the farm and push it. It like fell down an embankment and everything. Uh, and that was actually it wasn't due to ratchet straps. I thought my grandpa hooked up the trailer right and just didn't double check it and didn't put the latch down. And we were going to pull out and went up a bump and lost the whole trailer and car right down a hill. It was yeah, those were the early days there. And then
Oh,
I remember
man.
having back in my street stock days, I ratchet strapped down my car and I had a block underneath the rear end, and ratchet strap down on the block.
Yeah.
And you went over a bump and the block came loose. Well, now the ratchet straps are loose, and it came down too. But there's actually ratchet strips out there now that are like self-locking. I've seen some TikTok or something on that, and so he smashes a package, and the ratchet strap stays tight. It's kind of cool. I was like, oh, that's a good idea.
Wow. That's cool. So yeah, you've mentioned TikTok a couple times. And so are you a big TikTok watcher?
No, well, yes and no. Just pretty much went on the crapper or something, just or in the traffic light, whatever. But I definitely need to do a better job at that content stuff. I'm definitely no content creator with that. I'd like to do better at that. Like I said, I'm getting a better backlog of videos kind of stored up here, but there is some really cool stuff on TikTok, and I pull inspiration from TikTok, just not like conspiracy stuff, but just all kinds of stuff, man. You just pull it in, make it your own, and you just kind of stuff that you kind of look at and go, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's inspiration can be anywhere. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not usually spend a whole lot of time on social media. Like I said, I kind of took a break from it for a while, and now it's like a little difficult to get back into it. But I try because I want to kind of keep up with a little bit about what's going on with people. And yeah, I ran across a video that I think came from TikTok, and so I know I just did a funny one here recently with the yeah, you'll check it out. Bentley versus race car. That was
Yeah,
fun.
see, like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it's just ridiculous and fun or,
Mhm.
the hard part on TikTok when you're a business and you tell them that you're a business account, you can't use any good music, like no decent sounds. Like you're just like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I don't think I can even hum it in the background or I'm gonna be, whatever, copyright strikes and things like that. So, it makes
Yeah,
it
that's
really
what's
tough.
fun, I think, about it, because then you can and that's what kind of the inspiration part goes about, is you'll hear something like a clip from somebody else, and then you'll get an idea of, okay, so if I put this kind of audio with this, just that whole um, composition is intriguing to me, and especially when you can make your own art and make your own music, or music, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
you're 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 good with that. It can be kind of
Yeah.
fun.
That would be you that
It's
doing
a
your own
playground.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Oh, and Bob did mention that he says he's seen your strong arm and, yeah, it's a good idea. So,
Oh, Bob, you need to come to the show, brother. We can go out to dinner or something. That'd be nice. And
yeah,
which reminds me, Four Boys. I don't know if they're listening right now, but shout out to Four Boys, man, and that whole crew. They're awesome.
yes.
Just
Lori and Barry and everybody at the
yeah,
Four Boys
I
Racing.
was. That's some Southern hospitality. Let me tell you. I've never seen two boys that are just so I don't know, that are so smart. And you're young, but business oriented. And their mom, man, she's great. That's a powerhouse down there, and I got to meet them down there, and I'm I would have never thought that that would even be possible, and we're just driving and doing our own thing, and they're doing their own thing, but we're all the same, and that's what's and we come together, and um, it's cool, man. I live for that, and Bob would be a great addition, I think, and kind of show him the ropes. I don't know if he's been in any trade show with this stuff or whatever, but man, if it is your first, you're in good hands. Let me tell you.
Yeah, we try to do our best for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so Bob, we need to have a conversation.
Sure.
Well, I know we had a new product. I mean, you brought your new products down, and that was really it was great for the show, it was great for the racers, it was great for
Yeah.
you. It
Yeah.
was a win across the board. I know another new product that really came out last year was, Pop Bit, and yeah, and I know Tommy did really well with Pop Bit, coming to the Cars Racing Show.
Was
Great
that
way
his
to get
first
his yeah, it was his first trade show.
brand?
Yeah, he had just really released it. And so yeah, that was I love new products. I mean, I love, love, love new products, and people who are just getting started and all of that is right in
Yeah.
my wheelhouse for sure.
Well, I
Yeah.
think what it is, man, it's us racers, we're all blue collar people really, and we're all do it yourselfers, and we all know what it costs to make X, Y, or Z, and it's like lots of times, well, I'll just do it myself, which is awesome, and then you get a little drive from that, and it's like, oh wait, I got a little bit of traction from that, and it just everybody's so close from or everybody has their own really good idea, and I just feel like they really just show people, like bring it out to people, and there's room enough for everybody. And that's what actually Cody King told me too.
Mm-hmm.
With dirt car lifts, he's been I don't know, just an inspiration, if you will, to me, like with or just kind words, it
Yeah. Yeah.
he wouldn't, he's whatever my competitor, but I don't really have any competition, and I say that like non-pompously or whatever, but
No.
there's room enough for everybody for sure. And he told me that before I even started racing or started Hubbco at PRI, and I was just asking about the lifts and stuff, being a little freak probably. But no, man, but that stuff right there, man, I appreciate that, and I never forget that. And if I can help anybody or wise words of wisdom like that to anybody else, man, I hope I can, because that little stuff like that, it's free, and it goes a long way for sure.
Oh, I believe 1,000% for sure that there's enough out there for all of us, and I would prefer to be buds with anybody who would be deemed my quote unquote competition. I'd rather compare notes with them.
Yeah.
And so I don't run a cutthroat business. There's plenty of other businesses out there. If you want to be cutthroat, go somewhere else. I mean, I think the racing community at large, that there's plenty of drama, but at the end of the day, we all stick together.
Yeah, I stay away from that drama. It's poison, man. It can.
I try.
Yeah, I mean, it just poisons the whole atmosphere, and it really just ruins intentions and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
stay away, stay alive.
Yes, that's a really good way. So I try to be nice all the time now. So
yeah.
and Mike is here. He's saying hi, Kate and Luke.
What's
and,
up?
Yeah. So do you have any sneak peek, any new things that are on the horizon?
Yeah. Yes and no.
Okay. Something in production, in like prototyping, or you're just not going to let us know until like the show?
Yeah, you'll see it at the show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I always like to bring a little some special to the show. Yeah, we're always at the same spot every time. Same hotel, all that kind of creature comfort kind of thing, man. It's no.
And it's cold in Michigan in January, and now you never really quite know what's going to be in North Carolina, but it's not going to be as cold as Michigan. That's
so nice. There's really no snow down there, and there's only been one time where it was like 65, and I was in shorts, man. It was like I was in Florida. It was great.
Yeah, we're not too far. We're not too far. You just never really quite know. It's it's just good if it doesn't rain, because it rains here all the time. So yeah, at least for 3 of the seasons, it doesn't really rain as much in the wintertime. But
yeah, I mean, North Carolina would be sweet. You got the mountains, you got the ocean, you got racing, good weather. Yeah, man, I need to.
Good people. Yeah.
Southern hospitality. That's Southern to me. That's really not really. Are you guys? Do you consider yourself Southern?
I'm not from North Carolina. I live here, but I will.
You think you live in the South?
I live in the South, but I grew up in the Midwest. So, I mean, I'll never be a native Southerner. They'll never accept me. So,
and that barbecue down there is really good too.
Oh, absolutely. Carolina barbecue. Yeah. So the girls who work for me, so Tori, she is definitely from here and has that like Southern Appalachian accent.
Really?
And then Danielle's more from like South Carolina, like near Charleston. So, they're both like real Southern, like legit. And I just live here. So just renting space.
That's sweet.
Yeah, but I do love living. I love living down here. I really do.
Oh,
yeah, and being so close to everything. I mean, I live in the middle of nowhere, but even in the middle of nowhere, I'm only an hour from like 3 different places, or 3 or 4. So I'm only like an hour from Spartanburg, an hour and a half from Greenville, South Carolina. I'm an hour from Asheville, hour from Charlotte, and an hour from Hickory. So yeah,
Yeah, that's not
I'm
bad.
no. So I'm more in the foothills is where I live. Yeah.
Sounds like
So
a
I can
clean
get to the
shipping
mountains
zone.
pretty easily. A little bit farther from the coast, I'm in way western North Carolina, almost to South Carolina, but
Yeah.
and 2 hours from Tennessee. It's a great little great little spot to live. I like it.
Yep.
Now, where are you at in Michigan?
In Grand Rapids, so right by Lake Michigan.
Oh,
So like Kaiser Manufacturing is about 30 minutes from me. Lane Automotive
okay.
is about 45 the other direction from me.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's
And Water Villette.
yeah,
I order a lot of stuff from Motor State, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's really close, which is pretty cool. And Lake Michigan. It's weird, man. It's like I always say I want to live like I would like to have a house on the lake or water,
Mhm.
um, or ocean would be great. But like I don't spend enough time in Lake Michigan. I don't see a need to live by the ocean. But Lake Michigan's cool. You got the dunes and stuff.
Yeah, but Lake Michigan, it almost must be in like an ocean because it's just big. It's a
Dude, there's a
big
salt
lake.
mine underneath Lake Michigan, and I
Oh,
think Lake Huron, huge salt mine. Like
wow.
they drive like huge bulldozer trucks under there.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Someday I'll have a lake house. That's my dream.
I
And
know, right?
we got a couple more comments. So Shane says, great podcast. Keep up the great work. Thank
Shoot.
you to both of
What
us.
kind of dog you got there?
Yeah. Oh, let me see here. I can't quite tell there. So Shane, you have to tell us what kind of dog you've got there.
Yeah.
And then Mike says, yeah, we're all an hour from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think in Michigan, if you're in Michigan, you're like 90 miles anywhere in Michigan from a Great Lake.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, kind of a cool. It's like 90 miles or something like that. Don't quote me. I should ask ChatGPT, but we're right now.
Yeah, ChatGPT, the geography
Yeah,
expert of the
that's my
day.
new Google.
Yeah, well, I like to say, like in life, there's multiple right answers. There's some that are clearly wrong, but there's
Yeah.
multiple right answers.
Yep.
I think ChatGPT really takes that to heart because sometimes I'm sure you've seen. I don't like to see when technology is misused like on purpose. I know you have to break it and stuff to find out what its limits are, but
Yeah.
I don't like when people are just like disingenuous with their testing of it. But I do
Yeah,
know.
right. Just
Yeah.
trying to get it to the limits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. I mean, you've got like some of those, like there was like a lawyer in like Brazil or Ecuador who had ChatGPT write his whole argument. And
Oh, really?
yeah, except for he was citing cases that didn't exist because ChatGPT made them up.
Yo, what a dummy. That'll burn you.
Yeah, there's like a financial guru that was, because any financials, stocks, things like that, it's all
Yeah.
2 years behind, so you can't use it for that.
Yeah.
But, was just, experimenting, like write a blog post, give me like 3 good book recommendations for financials. And like all 3 titles, like none of them existed. So
Wow. That's awesome.
yeah, but I think it's goes to another level when people like try to create like this whole relationship with like the Chat GBT and like
Yeah, you
the
will call me
whole
king.
yeah, like you're gonna leave your wife and we're gonna run off together. I'm like, journalist, how did you get there from here? Because
Yeah,
I
right.
just want it to like write a social media post,
Yeah.
seriously, or like a
Yeah.
caption for a photo. Like, why are you? I mean, just why would you go down that road? Is
Yeah.
something
It's
I
weird,
don't
man.
understand. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, well, gotcha. Well, any final thoughts for folks? Kind of
Um,
wrapping things up here.
I just say, just stay curious. Just, it's all about lifestyle design. Do what you find out what you want to do and go do it. That's it. That's the crucial thing. Just figure it out, man. There's so many ways. Figure out what you want to do and go do it.
I love it. And let people know where they can find you, your website and your social media channels.
Yeah, so it's hubcolifts.com and Hubco it's Hubco underscore lifts on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok.
Nice. Yeah, so just you could probably look up Hubbco and get there. And
Yeah,
that
it's
dog, he's a healer, and a couple weeks ago they got a corgi female puppy. Oh,
cute.
that'd be fun. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's our final comment of the night. But yeah, so when you're on TikTok, you can just type that in and look for you there.
Yeah, anytime you want to call or just chat or have ideas or questions or just yeah, I'm just me and the dog here, and I'm I don't bite, and I just like to talk to my customers, I guess. I don't know.
Well, cool thing. And you can stay on for just a second here. I'm going to wrap
Sure.
things up. And I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Of course, you can find us on iTunes, or you can look up racinginsiderspodcast.com. It'll take you right over to Spotify, and you can listen to any on your podcast platforms, or you can find us on YouTube or on Facebook. And that is under the Crate Insider, since that's my other business. And I didn't have the forethought to make a Racing Insiders one. But on Crate Insiders Facebook and YouTube is where you can find this podcast, and you can join me live every Monday night, generally, except for like last Monday, at 7 p.m. Eastern. So thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys in another episode. Bye.
See you guys.